This game is very movement focused. The movement is based around your grappling hook called the plasma chain. And there are these predetermined green grapple points in the sky. And they're always in the same location. They never change or anything like that. Right here, I have to kill this enemy because there's a barrier right in front of us. And I've never found any way to skip it or anything. This run doesn't have any big sequence breaks or anything like that. Just movement optimization and optimized enemy killing. Yes, the hero is a warrior named Shark. Please spam that. And shout out to Claude for doing a casual playthrough of this last night. Big exposure for the ChainDive community. Shout out to the Roll Deep Marathon. This level here is it's all about killing waves of enemies. And what you saw me do there was the special attack. You press triangle, and you sacrifice about a third of your health. With a full health bar, you can do 3 of them and have just enough health left over to die in one hit. So in the first phase of this level, I'm killing these flying purple enemies that latch onto you. I don't want to take this draft up because it's very slow. Now I'm in the second phase, there's going to be a lot more enemies. So it's going to be a good time to show off just the combo mechanics of this game. What I was trying to do there was reflect those projectiles because they'll split into 2 or 3 pieces and freeze other enemies. And what your sword, Unbreakable, it is a ice sword that just freezes enemies, and then you press R2 to grapple through them, kill them. And the big mechanic of this game is that your combo meter restores your HP. It's the only way to get health back in this game. So a lot of this run was at very low health, because the special attack is very fast. You don't have control when you do your special attack, so it is a bit random how many targets it decides to hit, how many hits you get, that sort of thing. So there is a little bit of luck involved. There's more luck involved with boss cycles later on in the run. That was a pretty good level 2. Most levels have an end screen there. It rates you on damage, time, combo. Getting an S rank for the entire stage is usually slower because that involves getting an S rank in every category. And getting an S rank in combo is always slow. This level's really fun. It's all movement. The best levels in this game are 100% movement. Another enemy that we were forced to kill. Oh, get out of here. It's actually kind of scary. You can get crushed by that building. Plays a unique death cutscene if that happens. And these are explosive bomb enemies. We're going to see a lot of those later on. Game loves to throw those enemies at you. See, if you're a little early with your R2 press, you'll just go backwards, grab the previous chain. coming up is the first boss. There are a ton of cutscenes in this game that explain the lore. I've never watched them. You can just skip every cutscene. There's really no information on this game. All you need to know is that the hero is a warrior named Shark. No. I'm actually going to retry that. So, this boss is very cycle-based. And if I had continued on with the level, he would just roll around on the highway for X amount of time. And so the camera panned left there, which means he's going to spawn on the other side of the highway. This special attack should whittle him to phase 2, which it did. And there's really nothing different about phase 2, it's just the cutscene's played, now I can kill him. So I'm going to do one more special attack. And then try and chop him down. Nice. Even with the retry, that's a really good time for being done with that level. Oh. First, messed up menu. The menus on that screen are not active until the arrow is fully loaded. So it's really easy to press circle before down. This is a really tricky level. It's entirely cycle based, but I already made the most important cycle. I just have to get on here, and I can do a pretty neat trick. Nice, and what I did there is I jumped while I was attached to the chain. Oh, ha. That's insanely rare. But jumping while you're on the chain gives you extra momentum and allows you to cover larger distances. And you can also buffer R2 inputs. And so I buffered the R2 input by riding the elevator. So I was able to interact with the chain at max distance and get a ridiculous jump all the way up there, skipping another elevator cycle and moving around to hit a different chain point. So this level is a pure auto-scroller. There are 3 auto-scrollers in this game. This one is the quickest. Just gotta dodge these big lasers. It's obviously faster to hold down during these falling segments. You can also hold X while you're descending to kind of float down instead of fall at normal speed. Now the boss is going to start shooting these lasers that kind of track your positioning. So you gotta just be careful. And now he's done shooting us and the level's over. This next level is essentially an auto-scroller. You can only lose time if you allow the ships to become damaged. And at that point you'd have to allow all 4 of them to take damage and descend. Because what's going to happen is the ships are going to slowly ascend through this level. And this enemy in the background here, not sure what they're called, but that ring attack that they're doing will it's intended to get rid of your frozen ice blocks created, and they're kind of annoying on other levels, but on this level they really don't work as they're intended. So this level is just going around defending these ships from explosions. So I'll kind of take some time to explain a little bit of the movement tech in this game. So the hero, Shark, he has a double jump, and every time you touch a chain or grapple an enemy, your second jump gets reset. So most of this game is spent just flying through the air, never touching the ground, and a lot of the later levels either have like hazardous death water or you know, just no floor, like they take place in the sky, that sort of thing. And see how I'll kind of demonstrate that like zigzag that I create in my chain is that's what happens when you jump while holding R2, and if you release X and R2 with timing, you can preserve that momentum as you get off of the chain. Like there, I did it downwards accidentally. Don't want to do that. Like that. So a big part of this game is memorizing the spacing of the chains in the level and kind of creating muscle memory around that. Because it's all timing based. Now that that text is up, the level's pretty much over. Pretty uneventful level overall. Didn't get an S rank because enemies spawn, you know, seconds apart, and you just can't keep your combo meter going throughout that whole thing. So this level's pretty fun. It's another big movement level. It's also the first level that introduces pedestals that you interact with. You press circle to charge them up. Gotta break the spider web. If you go fast enough here, the enemies will not have time to really catch up with you to aggro to you. Some instances that's just not possible. Bug skip, that's right, Claude. Here I'm gonna get hit by missiles, almost guaranteed. Oh wow. Definitely gonna get hit by missiles at the next one though. This The little turret I jumped past. There's always a missile waiting for you here. And you can actually move with both the D-pad and the analog stick here, so you can buffer a down-right input and fall off of this platform as soon as possible. Just keep holding down. And now it's time to fight Dark Link. They added him to this game. He's very random. Kind of just have to spam him with sword attacks until he gets frozen. He normally takes 2 hits, sometimes he can take 3. Sometimes he can die in 1 hit. It's very random. Dog cutscene, dog shark. So this is the big auto-scroller of this game. This level takes about 5 minutes and 20 seconds. And it's all just killing these enemies to prevent the ship from taking damage. In this phase, when the ship gets damaged, it starts bugging out, and that's really not good. It's pretty easy to stay alive during all that. You can also prevent the enemies from exploding for a little bit by attacking them through the plane. You can freeze them and kill them through the plane, but it's really inconsistent and not worth your time. It's also not worth it to use a special attack here to hit enemies underneath the plane. What you saw there was an enemy that's just slightly outside of your 2D plane, and unfortunately that's a big problem with this game. Enemies can just fly in full 3D, and you can't really do much about it. Sometimes you'll be able to freeze an enemy, and it will be outside of your accessible movement plane, and you just cannot kill it. Very prevalent in one of the upcoming bosses. So now we're on the second phase, and we're just going to ride this out for the next 3-ish minutes. There's one enemy that spawns up here that we have to take care of. Just use a special on him because it's way faster than trying to freeze him manually. Now the rest of the level is just going around the plane, killing these bomb boys. You want to be really careful on the underside because there's only one row of chain points, so I basically always save my double jump when I'm down there. Health really isn't an issue at this point. Yeah, that's a big time saver, Claude, especially in the snow level. The one with the 2 analysts, the hackers. We play risky. the special attack really seems like it's less useful than it is just because it takes so much of your HP, but it's very overpowered. Text on screen, level's gonna end in about 30-40 seconds. Alright. So this level is great because it has great music, but it's also the hardest level in the run. Taking any amount of damage on this level is really, really bad, and you'll see why at the end. The game throws like 6 explosive enemies at you all at once. It's very hard to prevent death. So you charge up the pedestals, and then the towers fall over. You gotta wait a couple seconds, so it's a little bit faster to just take that chain up there instead of walking up it. This level is a rare instance of like it being a good thing for your superpower to your special attack to target additional enemies, just because you really do need the HP. I got insanely lucky there. That's crazy. I didn't get hit at all. That almost never happens. Yep. Alright, so on this level, you gotta save the princess. Oh. That guy can latch onto you. Sometimes he just completely ignores you, but he decided to be a bit of a pain there. It's no big deal though, this level is really simple. Just get to just move right. So this is my favorite level in the whole game, mainly because it's all movement. There are these small enemies that jump up at you from the ground. There's 3 of them in this level, so you gotta be careful about those, but the rest of it you can just speed through. It's faster to take this downward path here. Oh, dang. Oh. Technically, that level's supposed to be a race, but it's really hard to lose to that guy. And now we'll finally be fighting him. So this is some brand new strats right here. Just use 3 super attacks on him. And one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that when you get a larger combo, your damage increases. So from this point on, you can just mash. Oh, well, I got hit, so it doesn't matter much. But you can just mash square and R2 and take him down really quickly. Oh, that's some lag right there. So every time you break off a piece of his armor in full, he's gonna spaz out like this. Because I don't really want to risk getting flung off, I'm just gonna attack his head. And this is some crazy lag, but that's the boss. True S rank, baby. Yeah, around the 7 or 8 combo mark, you get like the first tier of additional damage, and then around the teens, like the 15 or so, you'll start to around 15 or 16, you start to glow red, and that basically just destroys all enemies in one hit. It's really nice. This level's another escort mission, but it's very simple. You just gotta get up and go to the right. drop the waifu off. Oh, I ate my jump. Alright, now it's time for the true best level in the game. Disregard what I said earlier, this is the greatest level in not just this game, but in any game ever. It's very difficult to do in one try because the programming is so bad. The platforms just want to shoot you down. And thankfully I made it through without dying, but it's very, very common to die on that level. Because you can only move left to right and jump, and when you jump you lose all momentum. So this level is pretty cool. You have to get these two scientists to these hacking terminals and kill some enemies to make sure they don't attack them while they're busy. And once both of the terminals are at 100%, the second phase of the level will load. These guys here can be a pain. Just like that. You don't have to kill this enemy spawner, but oh man, I would love to. Alright, now we're in the second phase. And we've just got to kill two of these large enemies and the level will end. So we just super attack both of them. Oh man, I got very unlucky there. That's not typical at all. Having to use two super attacks to kill that guy. As you can see, even with a super attack, it takes 3 hits to actually kill it. But it's totally fine. I had enough HP to do another super. This boss is very luck-based. So you basically just want to go ham on it. So you want to just hold X here to not fully descend. My positioning is pretty bad there. You really don't have much control in this section. It's possible to deflect one of these shots that the bug enemies will shoot at you to hit the boss and have it drop its shield, but even if you land a hit, like one of the deflected shots did go down to hit the boss, but see, I got 2 there. It still didn't actually cause the shield to go down. And then there I got 1 hit in, and then it put the shield right back up. So this boss is definitely very random. Nice. So boss is going to fire a finishing beam. If you just hold up like that, you're not going to really see it. It's important not to hold down at the end of that boss fight, because if you descend too much, you will die, even if you've killed the boss. Damn, Claude, that sounds like brand new tech. Oh, wow. Here, there's another forced enemy kill. So that jump is really important. If you miss that jump or jump too late, you're gonna get caught in this draft and you have to enter that area again. Really not fun. That enemy can also bug you and interrupt your charge. So you're basically forced to take him out with a super. It isn't a huge deal. I got insanely lucky there. Sometimes those enemies just latch right onto you. And so now we are at the final 2 bosses. So the first phase of the first final boss here has these 3 arms that we need to destroy. There's no better way to do it than with 2 super attacks. So when the boss does a 2-claw swipe attack like that, you can't damage him, you have to go around like this. But when he does a 2-claw overhand attack, you can damage him. And there I got very unlucky with the game's targeting. It's difficult because the game wants to target the chain that's near it and the ice that you create. If all goes well, I can kill him in a second. Nope. It's unfortunate. Jeez, man.
I need a way out of this, though. Like, it's obnoxious because if I don't find a way, then I can't play it.
Alright, so now we are on the true final boss.
Normally they have an onboard way to just let you get out of it.
Dark Link V2.
Oh, okay, okay. Turn off service mode, maybe? I really don't know. Guess I'll mess with that later.
And he's just as random as
Thanks for
before.
the
Basically
non-fall.
just now with a full HP meter.
Push that back over.
Taking this much damage is really
When it comes to that point of the game,
impossible to combo off this guy.
resource management is honestly the most important. It's not even so much that, like, I have to have this weapon or that weapon. It doesn't come down to that. What it comes down to is that I need to get through very specific segments of the game with as many lives as I can. And I'm only trying to take one death at most before the end of the hangar, before the alien's lair starts. That's not easy. The best way to do that is going to be to have laser all the way until the beginning of hangar and then immediately sacrifice myself so I can get the barrier. And then I can just cruise through the first half of alien's lair. And it's easy breezy beautiful. Not about time, I'm trying to maximize efficiency. Big difference. There we go.
This guy's being real jerk. So now he's in phase 2. I really
Whoa!
don't want to get hit.
Can I
It's
hit
very
that thing,
lucky
please?
that I will.
One time? That was not okay. Like, less than okay.
The only way to prevent getting hit is to use your sword.
Damn, I never seen that dude fire off with that before. That was crazy.
Darn it.
Here we go. Whee.
So, that can happen. I took way too much damage from him. This final boss is one of the biggest luck factors, if not the biggest.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if it comes down, when it comes down to speed, if I were trying.
Yeah, if I just stream like on Discord itself.
What? This is unfortunate. This dude is giving me the business. Unfortunately, your super attack really does nothing against this guy. Doesn't freeze him. You just waste a lot of HP. That's why I've just spammed him with moves, because there's no real better way to guarantee a freeze when he's vulnerable. He's typically vulnerable after using one of his own attacks. See, he's already in the second phase, which is really weird. I'm getting owned. This is the best way to defend from his orb attack, but as you've seen, it doesn't always work. Alright, GG. He tried everything in his power to take the sub 50. But that was a really clean run outside of the final boss. Very unfortunate ending, but it's a very random fight that can just decide to screw you over. Thank you for the GGs, and thanks for having me. There's some pretty epic anime on display here. I'm very glad that the only deaths were to the final boss. The rest of the run was very good.